So, more on building chords. Let's begin with a small interval. Oh, this is terrible. Changed the string yesterday. Smallest interval is the major second. Well, the smallest would be the flat or the minor second, right? If this is the unison or the perfect first, this is the minor second, right? Well, let's begin with that then. Minor second, we don't usually write a chord by naming the minor second. What do I mean by that? The intervals go past the octave or the eighth. This is F, this is the octave of F, the highest F, right? Okay, so the intervals go past the octave and go to the flat 9, which will be this one here, right? Or let's put it more in a simple way for you to see. If this is the perfect first, this is the perfect octave, okay? So it's an octave higher. The next note after the octave is the minor 9, which basically is the same note as the minor second, right? Because if this is F and it's the perfect first, this is the minor second, right? Good. If you want to check my video on the intervals, you have to just go back to one of my older videos. And this is it's a G flat, right? So this is the octave of F, and this is then the minor 9, right? Exactly, it's the minor 9, which is the same note when you hear it as the minor second. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, right? So this is the perfect first, this would be the perfect octave, and this would be the minor 9. After 8 comes 9, right? The minor 9 is here. But this is the minor second, right? It's the same note, G flat, right? So basically the note is the same. Minor 9 and minor second is the same note. But to be really perfect, you have to say that this G flat here cannot be called the minor 9 because it's not after the 8. This would be the minor 9 because it's after the 8. After the 8 comes 9, right? This is the minor second, right? It is the same note as the G flat. But technically speaking, you cannot say this is a minor 9 because it has not passed the 8. Okay? It has not passed over the 8. It's just before the 8, right? So after 1 comes 2, right? After 8 comes 9, right? Okay, so let's say we play a chord that is a very short interval. Let's say C, right? And I want to play with the C, I want to play D flat, which is this one here, right? So I'm gonna drop the C there, and I'm gonna put here the minor second. Okay, it's very, very challenging. Can you hear that? So when do we use this kind of chords with a very, very small interval, the smallest interval there is? It's a small second, right? Well, you never actually see chords written, let's say C and then flat 2, right? Which is basically, that's how we write a minor second interval. What you see instead is C with a flat 9. And as I told you before, that's the same note as a minor second or a flat second, right? But technically speaking, you cannot call that. Well, actually, you can do everything. You can do everything in music if you want to do it, you know. And there is a name for everything. That would be basically a C flat 2, right? But usually when we play this kind of intervals, we add a dominant 7 to it, which is, in the case of C, the B flat, found here on the 3rd string on the 3rd fret. In this case, you see a lot of chords written and used, written C7 flat 9. So that's English 9, German 9. I said 9 because I'm speaking, so that's German. So it's C7 flat 9. That's the one. Okay? So it's a very, very important chord. We call this sort of chords dominant chords or dominant 7 chords, because the dominant 7 or the small 7 interval is also there. In the case of C, it would be the B flat. Okay, a small 7 interval, it's one tone away from the perfect 8. Okay, the perfect 8 being C, B flat, it's one tone before that. So that's the perfect, the small 7, the minor 7. Okay, also written flat 7. Okay, so that's C7 flat 9. Okay, when you play in let's say in the C chord, if you play a D flat, if you include a D flat in this in C, you have a minor second, or you can also call it, if you want, a minor 9, right? If you want to be technical, minor 9 will have to be after the 8. So if this is C, then this would be the minor 9, which is one octave after, and then the perfect first, so one octave after, and then you keep going and you go to the small 9. But you have to put the dominant 7 interval there. You have to put the small 7 or the flat 7. So then you call this C7 flat 9. Okay. If you then use this kind of chords, when do you use them and which context do you use? That's a very important question. You use them when you play. You use them as the 5th passage in an harmony, in the harmony. What do I mean by that? Well, if I have the harmony of F, that's what I'm using it. I'm using on the 5th position of the harmony of F. So this kind of chords, C7 flat 9, must always be used in the 5th position of an harmony. Okay, because in the 5th position of an harmony, there is the possibility of putting there the minor 7 interval. And in this kind of chords, you are free to alternate or to alter to change, in other words, the fifth and the 9. So you can flatten or sharpen the fifth, or flatten or sharpen the 9, or both of them. You can sharpen the fifth and flatten the 9, or you can flatten the fifth and sharpen the 9 and put them all together, both of them, both altered intervals. It might be a bit confusing maybe, but any question, just write me, okay? On the next video, I'm going to work again on some of these chords and how to build them. Check it out.